Welcome to the Update 2.3 dev server. I'm here to cover all the new ships, of which there are just 4. Let's get right into it. First, starting with SMS von der Tann. Comes after the Graf Spee and the tech tree, and it has 8 of the same guns as Westfalen. It can get all 8 onto a single target, however is limited in the angles at which it can do this, mostly requiring a full broadside to do so. In combat, these ships here are removed, meaning that it can in fact fire across the ship. Here's the armor scheme, which is rather small and thin in most areas. It's significantly worse than that of all the battleships in game, and its mobility advantage doesn't really make up for this. It may help in an enduring confrontation, but in normal matches, it's not going to do anything. It maintains the same fire rate of 3 rounds per minute as the Westfalen, and here's the modification tree. It has the same ammunition, and same ammunition on its secondaries. Overall, this one seems rather weak. It's not really better than most of the dreadnoughts, and I would say that it doesn't really fill any niche in most battles. It's not a very useful addition, but at least it's a cool looking ship. Up next is the MPK PR12412. It's a Russian coastal ship and comes after the PR206M. 76mm cannon on the front can fire once every 3 seconds, and has rather effective HEVT ammunition, which actually has more HE filler than the standard HE shell. Overall, this gun's quite effective. It also has some anti-sub rockets, which like to randomly leave their tubes depending on the angle you're looking at them from. These have 32 kilograms of explosive filler each, meaning that if you do hit something with them, it deals quite a lot of damage. However, they only have a range of around 1 kilometer, so they're really only useful for brawling and not much else. The most interesting part here is the AK-630 on the back, which has a fire rate of 5,000 rounds per minute. It deals insane amounts of damage up close, even to destroyers, though I won't expect it to do very much to cruisers. It's an incredibly powerful anti-air weapon and is pretty much the main reason to play this ship. It also has a turret on the back with 4 SAMs on it, however at the moment this doesn't actually function. It may be modeled to function before the update, which should provide this with a pretty effective counter to aircraft. These missiles won't really be as strong against aircraft as the ones on the SATA P494, so they wouldn't really be game breaking, just a nice addition to this thing's kit. Overall though, it does feel rather weak at 4.7, as most ships it faces will be able to kill it very quickly. It's going to rely on getting in close and rapidly killing targets before they can respond, which it may struggle to do, being rather slow, having no armor, and not being the stealthiest of vehicles. Overall, it should be an interesting ship, and probably the only really interesting one of this update, sadly. Up next is HMS Invincible. If you thought von der Tann had some problems, this has even more of them. The armor scheme is absolutely terrible, maxing out at 152mm for the belt, and also having rather thin barbettes. It does have coal bunkers for armor, however, that's not really going to help it that much. It comes after HMS London and before HMS Colossus. Overall, out of all the new capital ships, disregarding Ecoma because I believe it's pretty much misclassified, this is going to probably be the least survivable of the bunch. It's really just lacking in protection. It's also slower than von der Tann. The guns on this ship are also the same ones as on HMS Dreadnought, not on HMS Colossus, which actually makes them rather weak in comparison, since they're lacking some penetration. It also struggles to get all of its primary guns onto a single target, since as you can see, these turrets in the middle have very limited angles, mostly due to each other, and due to being so close to the smokestacks. Overall, this ship really just isn't worth using in any capacity. There's not much reason to pick it up at all, and it kind of feels like what should have been added last patch, instead of this patch. Up last is Pola, which is a premium variant of Zara. It's pretty much the exact same ship, except it has a slightly different superstructure, and about 40 less crew. Put simply, don't buy this ship. It is not worth it. It has the same terrible 8-inch accuracy as the Zara, which makes it practically unusable since it's so inconsistent. Italy has no top ships that it can research that are really worth it, except a slightly better version of itself than a bunch of 4.7 cruisers. They still don't have a battleship, and they still don't have a battlecruiser. The current state of the Italian naval tree is pretty much unacceptable. I would propose that everyone vote with their wallet, and don't buy the Pola, just because Gaijin said, "Give us your money." The ship isn't worth it at all in any way. It is a pack ship in the dev server, so it will likely be a $60 pre-order pack before the update. Unless they bundle in about 10,000 golden eagles with it, it's not going to be worth it at all. The ship isn't good, and the tree isn't good. Just don't give Gaijin your money. So, that's the Update 2.3 dev server. Hopefully there's a second dev server that has a bit more to talk about. The new battle cruisers are rather lackluster, and neither of them really have a reason to be added to the game. The new Russian ship is okay, but it's not really going to be that good. And the new Pola is rather obviously a cash grab that Gaijin does not deserve your money for. They also didn't change the naval damage models in this update, which have been rather in need of changes recently, which is incredibly disappointing. Hopefully Gaijin changes courses before the update launches, because at the moment, it's looking like we're going to have another full patch of naval being in complete and total disarray. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more naval content.